Hi guys, welcome to my channel My Adventure Planet. Today I am traveling from Mood village in Himachal to Manali. So we have started our journey at 5:30 early morning from Mood village, and our next resting point is Kaza for breakfast. Our driver was really friendly and he was really talkative about the culture of Himachal, Buddhism, etc. In fact, it was really informative for me. He was telling about Buddhism, how Lama is an influential person in the village, etc. And I heard from him about some weird customs in these Buddhist families. One is, if any family have two boys, it is mandatory to send one boy to a monastery. Thereafter, that region's Lama leader will be his guardian. That boy will eventually become a monk. Any family who goes against this law, who are not willing to send their boy, will be exterminated from the village and other surrounding villages. I really felt weird hearing that. I don't know that such type of customs are still existing. We just crossed the diversion to Rekongpio, which goes towards Shimla. Now we are going towards Manali through Pin Valley National Park, and it is very famous for Himalayan ibex and snow leopard sighting. We reached Kasa by around 8:30 am. We had our breakfast there, and now we again restart from here to Manali. Now we can see the Spiti river flowing parallel to the road. The Pin river get merged to Spiti river at Dhankar. From there it will be like Spiti, which will be flowing parallel to our road till almost the end of the journey. On the way, we got an opportunity to see the famous Key Monastery. It is the biggest center of Buddhist learning in Spiti Valley. It's almost over 1000 years old, and it is one of the oldest training center for lamas. It is located at a height of 13,668 feet above sea level. Therefore, on the valley, you can see the Key Monastery. So we thought we will go as close as we can reach, and we can get a view of the monastery there.
As we go forward, you can see that the terrain and the road both are getting more and more difficult. The road is full of deadly turns, and at one side you can see there is deep cliff, and it's not easy to drive through this kind of roads. One other thing is, these roads and bridges here are made by military. If Italian clear, it is made by BRO, Border Road Organization. So what is Border Road Organization? It is directly under the control of Indian military. Apart from the other roads, highways, bridges in the country which are under the control of NHAI, National Highway Authority of India, which maintains, constructs everything. Here, due to the sensitivity of the area, and as well as the border is, we are sharing it with different neighborly countries, BRO is handling it. So actually its primary motive is to provide infrastructure to the armed forces, and at the same time for the public also. BRO maintains operations in 19 states and 3 union territories. It includes Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh. And it also has tie-ups with neighboring countries such as Afghanistan, Bhutan, Myanmar, and Sri Lanka.
Now we are just crossing a remote village called Kiadu. This village is in Lahore and Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. It comes under Kiatu Panchayat. It's located 60 kilometers east from district headquarters of Keelong and around 149 kilometers away from the state capital Shimla. See those beautiful valleys at the side and that huge gigantic glacier on the top. It looks really beautiful. I never expected today we are going to see such beautiful views. As we go forward, one thing I noticed is like we can see in this area really huge and gigantic mountains at both sides. Also, currently now the road also is getting little muddy and narrow. At the same time, as we go forward, every time the view is continuously changing, that also drastically. Like currently also you can see the view in front of me. It doesn't look like I am going through planet Earth. It is looking like I am in some other alien world. As going forward, I was mesmerized to see small and big Buddhist monuments, temples, structures, and prayer flags at both sides of the road. These were giving a different feeling to the entire journey. This Kasa to Manali road is one of the favorite destinations for the travelers and bikers all around the world. The reason is nothing else than the beauty of this valley. It is magical. One person can't understand it from the pics and videos. You have to come here literally and feel that experience. We stopped for a while at Kunsum Mata temple at Kunsum Pass. So here there are some interesting facts about this temple according to the local people. Be it be a bike driver, trekker or a local, basically anyone passing through the Kunsum Pass stops and take blessings from Mata for their treacherous journey ahead, as the roads are definitely very tricky. Needless to say, the colorful flags and the vibrant colors of the mandir, as well as the background of beautiful valley which is ice covered, will give you a kind of inner peace once you are there. And as per the stories here, and you can see also that there is a big black stone that lies inside the temple, and as per the legendary fable behind this temple, it is believed if you pray with complete faith and put the coin on the stone, your wishes are fulfilled and the coin will stick to the stone, else it will not. Important to note that stone is not a magnet stone. Whatever may be the reason, but the Kunsum Mata temple make you feel empowered and energized. On the way, we saw many cyclists coming up. It is not easy to cover up this kind of rough terrain in cycle, as you know that it is very high altitude, very less oxygen level, as well as it's very rough hilly patches. So you need extreme amount of fitness and stamina, strength also to cover this kind of area in a cycle. As a trucker, I can clearly understand that. So whenever we meet them, we cross over the paths, we just greet them, we encourage them, we just cheer them so that they can feel more boosted up to reach their destination. It's always good to spread some positivity while we travel. So right now we are at the famous Chacha Chachi Dhaba and we are here to have our lunch. So I'll tell you what is it famous for. Like after this dhaba, for around 40 kilometers stretch, you can't find out any other shops, dhaba, nothing. So whoever is traveling through this road, either it is a traveler, even it's a local person, police, military, whoever it is, they normally come to this dhaba to have food or pack their food in this journey. So now this 40 kilometer stretch which we are covering right now, this is going to be the one of the most beautiful stretch in this entire journey, and at the same time it is going to be the most difficult one too. You might have already noticed that the broad wide road become narrower and narrower as we are going forward. So this entire stretch, the road is like this only. Actually, we can't call this one a road also, we can call it as a path only, because it is like that, the condition is like that. It's all stones and everything, and even the terrain is also a bit difficult to move forward that fast. Other thing is like this is not a winter season now, so this is just the start of winter. If I tell in clear, you can notice that at the left side there are huge mountains, and you can see on the top, you can see the snow. I mean, little snow formation has already happened. So this is actually the start of winter. Slowly as these days goes on, this entire mountain will get covered by the snow, and slowly the entire valley will get covered by the snow. And when the proper winter season starts, it will be like 1 or 2 meter thick layer of snow will be there everywhere, and you may need a bulldozer and other equipment to clear the road actually. So here, as I told before, the entire road is under the control of BRO, Border Road Organization. They do take care of everything, but still when we travel at the winter time, the journey will be much more longer. I mean, right now we are moving in much faster pace compared to that time. Normally at the winter time and all, if you are crossing, of course the entire area will be looking much beautiful, but at the same time it will be taking more time to cross this path. It will take almost a day to cross this entire stretch. So now itself you can see the road also, even the path also is now almost vanished. It is like we are going through the middle of so many stones. I think it's like a landslide happened, and it's like all over there are stones fallen around. And you can notice that there are glaciers at the side, at the left side. It is, I can see not only one, I have already noticed like some 12-13 glaciers here. A lot of glaciers in this side. So you can know that, I mean, there is that, and the left side it is that river is going on, I mean flowing. Right now it is feeble, it's a small one, but at the winter time and all, it will be like a big one, I mean, due to this excess of snowfall and everything. So what I'm telling is like the stretch is really getting difficult to move forward, but still we are moving in a much faster pace compared to winter season. Winter season we will take almost an entire day to cover this stretch. Now see, it's almost like stuck here. We are stuck in the road because it's like a big stream is going through the center of the road. So now the driver have came out of the jeep, and he's putting some stones in the exact direction of the tires of the jeep, so that the tire won't get stuck in mud and we can go smoothly in front. I hope it won't get stuck here. If you are getting stuck in middle of this place, it's gonna be a crazy night. So by God's grace, our vehicle started moving again. We were really thankful to our driver because he had taken a huge risk and struggle to take this vehicle forward through this very difficult terrain. Now you can see at the left side there are a group of tents and people are there. I mean, there is a group of people also there. Actually it is a tent and a campsite. There are organizers who arrange tent stay here. Night stay will be there. People can enjoy the location and everything. But we don't have any plans now to stay here. We are moving forward to Manali. On the way we just now got a small tea shop. It's having a very beautiful tent here. You can see it is actually made of parachute. It's a big one, so people are taking small stop here to have tea and everything. And meanwhile you can see the location also. It's really beautiful. I mean, it's getting more and more greener here, and there are of course big huge mountains, but you can see more greenery. It was slightly raining also. We have restarted our journey again towards Manali now. We have to go again up towards the Rohtang Pass. So this stretch also is a bit difficult. Roads are better, but still it is a bit difficult. Hope it won't rain too much, then it will be more difficult for us to go upwards. Now we are gaining the altitude slowly. In other words, I can tell you, we are climbing up this mountain through these zigzag roads to Rohtang Pass. So you can see that the current road which we are going through is looking really scary and dangerous. At one of the side, either left or right, will be always a cliff. So a small mistake is enough for a dangerous accident. If in case we fall down from this cliff down, it's very less chances to survive. But one good thing was like our driver is super confident and comfortable, and he have very well experienced to go through these kind of roads. He have how many times he don't know, he have traveled through the same roads, and he was effortlessly and very easily riding through these curves and everything. So we haven't felt that kind of problem from the driver side, so we are confident. But still the view is dangerous. You can see that it is like really deep down and the roads are really narrow. So yeah, that scary part is there, but at the same time the mountains are looking really beautiful. I can see so many waterfalls and it's looking so green and everything. So those who are following my channel knows I have started this journey around a week ago. I have started from Kafnu village in Baba Valley, and from there by trekking I was going through Pin Valley, Pin National Park, and I reached Spiti. So from Spiti onwards I took this jeep, and now I have covered the entire Lahul and Spiti district, and now we are on the way to Manali through Rohtang Pass. So Manali is right now in Kulu Valley. So I never thought that I can cover this many places, this many districts in Himachal. So I am really lucky. I mean, when I started this journey, I don't know that we are going to cover this many places. So I feel really lucky that I covered all these places in this one journey itself. So slowly we are reaching the top of the mountains. Here you can see at the both sides all the mountains are covered with snow at the top. It is like giving you an intimation that the winter season is coming. Slowly as the winter season is getting more and more intense, the entire valley also will get covered with snow. So there at the far end you can see that snow covered mountains. That is Rohtang Pass. I mean, that is the area where Rohtang Pass is. So Rohtang Pass is a high mountain pass which is located at an height of 13,058 feet on the eastern end of Pir Panjal range of the Himalayas. It is around 51 kilometers away from Manali, and it connects the Kulu Valley with the Lahul and Spiti valleys of Himachal. So currently it is an off season. You can't see much visitors. Still there are visitors a little. Many Bollywood movies like Jab We Met, Hey Jawani Hey Diwani, all kind of movies have been shooted in this region of Manali and Rohtang Pass. So after Rohtang Pass, my mobile charge got over, and due to that I couldn't shoot anything till I reached Manali. Anyways, you don't have to worry. There was nothing special or specific to show you in this route. Currently, I have reached a Buddhist monastery in Manali. I haven't been to any Buddhist monastery till now in my life, so it was just out of enthusiasm I thought I will visit one. I have seen these kind of monasteries only in movies. So I can see that it's a beautiful monastery with all vibrant colors, and you can see that so many prayer wheels are there in all around the temple. So my next destination was Hidimbi Devi Temple, which is locally known as Dungari Temple also. This temple also have another name, Hidimba Temple, and it is located at Manali itself, and it is an ancient cave temple dedicated to Hidimba Devi, who is the wife of Bhima. Bhima is a figure in the Indian epic Mahabharata, and this temple, it is surrounded by a cedar forest called Dungari Van Vihar at the foot of Himalayas. The sanctuary is built over a huge rock jutting out of the ground, which was worshipped as an image of the deity. The structure was built in 1553 by Maharaja Bahadur Singh. So from here, I am straight away going to Old Manali. This one is partitioned by the river Bias from New Manali. Old Manali is very famous for the cafes. I chose one of the oldest cafes in the town, Cafe 1947. It have good food and a beautiful view of river Bias. So I'm gonna end this beautiful journey through the Himachal here and enjoy my evening and have a yummy dinner. So thanks for watching my video. If you like it, please share it, like it and subscribe it. I will come back to you soon with my new adventures and travel tales. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.